AM 970 WSTX.
All right. Good Thursday morning. All right. I am just bubbling and happy and overflowing. It's a beautiful day. Woke up to see the birds flying around, making a noise, the chicken coming in my yard and bothering me the way they usually do and everything else. And I said, thank God for the chickens. Hello, St. Croix, St. Thomas, St. John, Virgin Islands, all over the world, all the way to down under, all the way over to Europe, up in Denmark, and not to mention our friends and family and associates over there in the mainland USA. But hey, VI gone global. Ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Yes. And if you're wondering why I'm so bubbly today, it's just life. We have life. And no matter how bad things are, when you have life, it can get better. And that's the focus that we're here today, in the positive, always in the positive. Not that we don't have to cross the negative bridge every now and then, but we try to keep it as in we're going toward the positive. All right. Now, last week I had some full house studio till Robert Moorhead even went and thief a couple of them. Okay. All right, Robert, I forgive you. Okay, the Bible says you must forgive. Okay, and not necessarily turn the other cheek. But I forgive you, okay? I won't forget you, but I forgive you. Anyhow, he'll be on here around 10 o'clock this morning in session. And we're always happy to have this family of talk show hosts here on the community-minded station, WSTX AM 970. And we're going to have an interesting conversation this morning, and you're welcome to join the conversation at 773-0390, 773-0490. Now, I invited a young lady out on a date. And for a second there, I thought I was going to get stood up. Okay, I was ready. I had my handkerchief and my towel and everything just in case the crying got a little bit too much. But you know what? My date showed up. My date is here. I'm in Wonderland.
I got here before you did.
Yeah, I don't know. Actually, I was here and came back. But yeah, but it's all good. It's all good. I have two wonderful ladies in the house here today. Canton last week when we were here talking about the special project that she's working on, showing lots of love to cancer survivors, breast cancer survivors in particular, and the community is rising to the occasion. And we didn't have enough time to do quality time, and I like it quality. I don't like no rush job here. We gotta have quality time. Okay, so I invited her back, and you know what? She said, "Hey, Doug, you got so much energy, you bubbling, you too much for me. I gonna bring help," okay? So she came in this morning, and guess who we have here with us this morning? We have Miss Cassandra Dunn, the songbird of the airwaves. All right.
Good morning, Doug. Good morning. Your happiness is contagious this morning.
I'm happy to hear that.
I must say, we are feeling good.
Well, I'm happy to have you here. You know the community is missing your voice, right?
Well, thank you for that.
Okay, so this is a real good fix to have you here.
Okay.
The community is much calmer and much ready to face the world because they're hearing your voice this morning.
Well, I am still loving every one of them. So thank you so much, Doug.
All right. Now, Diane, don't get jealous now. Don't get jealous, okay?
This is called a double date.
All right. But on the serious side, we're here today to talk about a very special project that Diane is working on in conjunction with all the folks who are in the fight against cancer, and in particular, this is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and everybody is part of this fight because we never know who it's going to touch. Brother, sister, mother, cousin, and guys, hey, you have to be aware, and and know what to look for, because the stereotype that it only affects women is just that, a stereotype. So if you want to put your head in the sand, I'm telling you, I don't want you to, because it's too important, and we love having you here and what you contribute to the community. So men, heads up. This is not a women thing. This is a cancer thing, and cancer touches everybody. Okay, and that's what the fight. We want to get its hands off of us. All right, run it out the country. That's our plan. All right, so I'm here, of course, with all this bubbliness, talking. So I'm going to be quiet, and I'm going to sit back and listen to these young ladies as we discuss and get into this conversation. So, Diane, the floor is all yours.
Oh, good morning, Doug. Thank you again for inviting me back. And good morning out there to the listening audience. I would like to share with you again an upcoming, actually, it's already taken place. This is the National Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and I created a project that is a sponsored project by the St. Croix Foundation, and it is it's a 2-night free stay St. Croix breast cancer retreat. For the women out there in St. Croix, you are officially invited to spend a 2-night getaway at some of the most fantastic places here in America's paradise. We have the wonderful pink house that was donated to this project that's over in Christiansted, overlooking the beautiful Buck Island, so you can spend time with a group of women. Up to 6 women will be able to stay there, and we have actually 7 days. We have an opportunity to use that facility, and then we have the Villa Mill Point, which is a fabulous solace kind of place that is on the other side of the island. So we're covering the entire island, you know. We have the west and we have the east. So the west, the mill is so beautiful. It's a great place to have a retreat. And so for the ladies out there, that's where you have an opportunity to spend 1 night or 2 nights. It's a matter of your choice. The dates open up for that retreat are the 12th of November through the 15th. So you need to contact me as soon as possible. And then we have some other places that have been donated. The Carambola Resort. They have been very generous with their donations. And we have the Cottages by the Sea and Hotel on the Key. The DV Resort, for those of you who like, this is a getaway to get you motivated and ready to jump in and network with other women who have a common kind of, concerns that you can come together and collaborate. And then we have the Arawak Bay, the Inn at Salt River. Miss Johnson and her husband are so generous. They are always willing to contribute and participate in the community. And we have a lot of other donors like Franklin's and Franklin's on the waterfront. That's a great little shop where you can buy all kinds of great, nice things to decorate your house with. And we have the Tamarind Reef Spa, and the Tamarind Reef has donated a little hotel resort space for two of our breast cancer survivors. And then we have, when you go on a retreat, what do you want? You want a body massage, your nails done, and a pedicure. And we have a donation by the Nail Time and also the Tamarind Reef Spa. So you're going to be taken care of. One of the requirements is that you must sit in the back seat of the car and ride like you have. You're going to be chauffeured because you are very special. And we have some wonderful volunteers, and these are people who have agreed to support you. And in supporting you, they get to drive their car up to Queen Bee gas station and fill up their tank. We have, let me see, we have a number of gas stations. We have, which one did you tell me?
Well, we got Queen Bee. I know we mentioned Queen Bee.
Oh, and One Love.
We got One Love.
One Love.
Okay, which has got several locations, but it truly is One Love.
It is One Love. And Scion Farm gas station.
Scion Farm gas station.
So we also have some individual donators, contributors. William B. Chris Broswell Jr. He is a fabulous cake baker, and he's made some wonderful rum cakes to contribute to both of our resort spots. And then, of course, we have the VI Black Pages. That's, Carol.
Yeah.
Carol is a contributor, and we'll be putting a special article featuring this event. And we have the Blue Water Terrace. They're one of our restaurant sponsors, as well as the Pickled Greek. And Calvin, Calvin out there in Cane Bay? So he's contributing. If you get to stay at the Carambola, you get to go over to his little spot and enjoy a nice lunch. And then there's Bernard. Bernard has this little side bar on the road. You would miss him, but it's like he has a sign there. It's posted Scenic View. But I love it because he is a local person, and he has this soursop lemonade. He said, "Oh, that's good. Soursop is good for cancer. Come on, So, we have so many people that have jumped up and said, okay, I want to participate. And by participating, that means that we are encouraging the community, if anyone wants to jump in and be a volunteer, to call us and let me know.
All right, folks, 7730390, 7730490. You got that urge to call right now and volunteer. But I just want to shed a little bit more light on the volunteer. In essence, you volunteer to be a chauffeur. Yes. And to take that breast cancer survivor around here, there, and everywhere. And hey, our good corporate citizens have jumped on the bandwagon and going to give you a full tank of gas to do it with. So you get the pleasure of knowing that you've contributed to a worthy cause, and to know that someone who could be your mother, your sister, your brother, that you're helping someone, not necessarily your family. It might be removed, but it's always there, because sometimes generationally these things skip, and then they jump in your family, and you wonder, well, what part you come from? Well, hey, this is why we have the American Cancer Society and all of these organizations, the YAG Foundation, all these organizations are fighting cancer in general and breast cancer. But I would just like to recap, because I want people to be clear. What we're talking about is community love for breast cancer survivors. And we are giving them a special treat because we have an idea of what they go through. We won't make the mistake I said we know. Those who can say we know, that's fine. But we appreciate what you're going through in the fight. And we also appreciate everyone who is joining the fight. And we're saying, here's to you, this opportunity to relax, network, pamper and spoil yourself on somebody else's dime. And we're happy to do it. Okay.
Wow, and I wanted to mention Annette Scott. Now, Annette is a good friend of mine, and when I told her about this project, I said, Annette, we need volunteers to put together a little gift bag for our participants. And Annette and her family put together 2 great little pink gift bags. So I'm soliciting the listening audience. If anybody wants to adopt 2 of these wonderful women, you can put together a little gift bag so that we can place it on their pillow. And I have to mention this. I'm not going to keep it a secret anymore, because Cassandra Dunn was I just got back. This is my partner. She just got back from New York. So I have friends in New York who ask me how they can contribute. And, I've been running around town trying to find some crowns, because, we are queens. We are all queens. So Cassandra, my girlfriend, dropped over to her house, and Cassandra just told me I had to buy a new suitcase. So she to put the crowns in. So, ladies, when you get picked up by that violent pink, they're going to put a crown on your head, and you're going to sit back there and wave your hand, and you know that you are queen, not just for the day. I want you to remember you are going to be queen for life. Right. So that we're making it fun. Okay. That's the whole idea, to make it fun.
Exactly. Get people involved in something important, and at the same time we can have fun doing good things too. And
people have asked me, well, what do you mean by retreat? Well, retreat means to rejuvenate, refresh, rebuild relationships. It is a time to just be with yourself, and to be with others, to collaborate and share experiences. But all this is leading up to something that has been planned by the Yvonne Galiber Foundation. So we're all working together to make sure that we really fully embrace our community here in St. Croix.
All right, so we get our volunteer pinks who go and pick up our queens,
Yes.
chauffeur them, take them around to their place of pamper.
Yes.
All right?
Yes.
And then at the end of this period, we have a conference coming up.
We absolutely do.
Tell me about this conference.
Okay, well, thank you. And before I tell you anything about the conference, Doug, I want to say that Diane Hampton has one of the biggest hearts of anybody I've ever met. She cares so much, and she's done so much, and she has definitely done a lot for us at the Yvonne Galiber Foundation. So I just want to say thank you so much, partner. I really appreciate you. But Doug, I am so excited about what's coming up for the YAG Foundation. You know, breast cancer is not something that just strikes you in the month of October. It's all year. It could happen to you anytime. I'm living proof of that. I am a breast cancer survivor and glad to say I'm thriving, not just surviving. And we want that for so many people. And this year, we are celebrating Breast Cancer Awareness Month in the month of November. We are continuing the celebration, I should say, or the recognition. And what we are doing is we are having a breast Cancer Awareness Weekend, and it starts with our feature guest, Kim Coles, the comedian. You may remember her from Living Single and Living Color. She was on Frasier. She just doing wonderful things since then, and very funny. And we know that part of the healing process is laughter. And so we've named our weekend The Healing Power of Laughter. And not only will we have a Laughter in Paradise with Kim Coles, which is 2 comedy shows on Friday, November 13th, but on Saturday, November 14th, will be our 5th annual Breast Cancer Awareness Conference. And Kim will be a speaker at that conference and be speaking to the theme, The Healing Power of Laughter. So we're getting in gear. We know we're dealing with a serious subject, but we know research has taught us, and I can definitely confirm this, that a little humor in our life every day makes the medicine go down a little better.
Start with the smile.
That's right.
Start with the smile. You know, I throw this out to anybody who may not like somebody, and when they see them, they frown up their face. Well, you know what you're doing? You're working for that person because it actually takes work, muscle work, to frown. A smile is relaxation.
Absolutely.
So be nice to you. Even when you see the person you don't like, smile. Don't work for them. Smile. But hopefully you love everybody and like everybody and not have to even think about that. But smile. Make that your promise to yourself that you're going to smile as often as possible, because you're actually doing yourself a service. And so if a smile is so good, wow, imagine what laughter going to do for you. All right.
Big time.
So Kim Coles.
Yeah, Kim Coles. So on Friday, November the 13th, we'll be having 2 comedy shows at the Pink Spot. And, you know, pink is so associated with breast cancer, but it's not just about the color. It's a reminder that it's a call to action that we must be aware that this disease is surrounding us, and that we want to fight it with all the vigor that we can. And so on November the 13th, Kim Coles comedy shows, and we're calling it Laughter in Paradise with Kim Coles. Our first sitting is at 6 p.m. and the next sitting is at 9:30. And we will have some great entertainment. In addition to Kim, we're going to have the fantastic cast from Dreamgirls. That was performed at the Caribbean Community Theater, and that was a dynamic production. And you know, all of this is through Diane's hookup, helping us really get this together. And we'll also we'll be having a local comedian hopefully opening for Kim Coles on that night. And the reason I say hopefully is because this Friday, October 30th, tomorrow, we'll be having auditions at the Pink Spot for anyone who thinks that they are funny and could add to the healing through their humor. And so you can come and audition at the Pink Spot starting at 5:30 p.m. and to about 7. And the audience will vote on who they think is the best, and then the following week or the week after, two Fridays down the line, you'll appear as the opening for Kim Coles.
All right.
So you know, that's going to be a lot of fun.
And the photo contest.
Right.
You literally get to be on stage with Kim Coles.
Exactly. So another thing we have going on right now is the photo contest. We call it the Pinktober Pink Building Treasure Hunt. Okay, and what we've posted this to our Facebook page, YAG Foundation Inc. And what we want people to do is take pictures of themselves with a message in front of a pink building. St. Croix has quite a number of pink buildings.
Yes, we do. From east to west.
From east to west. And so Diane has probably taken a picture in front of every one of those buildings. But she can't be in the contest. So we need others to join us. It was, the deadline was to be tomorrow. We've extended it to next Friday, November the 6th. And we're hoping that people will, you know, you can take a funny picture, you can take a lively picture, you can take a unusual picture in the front of a pink building and post it to our website. And then we'll, you know, have some voting on it, and we have some great prizes, including tickets to the Kim Coles Laughter in Paradise comedy show.
Well, I have a request. And that request is that you make sure you get a copy of all of those pictures so that when you come back to report back on how everything went, how fantastic it was, how much fun it was, that we can show the public these different pictures. And we could even intersperse someone in front of a big building in between everyone.
Okay, we love that. And we also will be showing the pictures during Kim Coles comedy shows, just to kind of, you know, let people know that there are people out here that know what the message is, want to share it, want to push it, want to tell everyone we must beat this disease. And we can, breast cancer is not a death sentence. We can thrive and we can survive. So then on Saturday is the big conference. It's going to be great. Not only will Kim be the special guest speaker, and as I said, you know, Kim is a comedian, an actress, she's a best-selling author, but she's also into health and wellness and understanding that, you know, all of these aspects of living, loving, and life are important for breast cancer recovery. And so not only do we have Kim, but we have other presenters. The Honorable Stacy Plaskett, our VI delegate to Congress, has been very gracious in consenting to bring greetings. The Honorable Senator Samuel Sanders, he's going to be speaking about healthcare law and policies helping Virgin Islanders. Can we do more? Dr. Regina Flippin, many may know her as a podiatrist on the island, but she is also a breast cancer survivor, triple negative breast cancer, which is a breast cancer that is very prevalent amongst African American women and one of the more dangerous breast cancers that you can get. So her presentation about survival will be very interesting. Tracy Saunders, who is the founder and president of Continuum Care, she'll be talking about living wills and advanced medical directives. Very important. We need to give information. We need to let our family, our loved ones know how we want to proceed with our health, especially if we may not be in a position to make an informed decision at any particular time. And Danita D. Nicole is she practices all kinds of healing. So she'll be coming in doing a little Reiki exercise. Kathleen Arnold Lewis. She is the Territorial Director of the Chronic Disease Department at the Department of Health, and she's going to talk about the status of the Virgin Islands Cancer Registry, which we have been trying and supporting and urging to get off the ground for a very long time, because it will help us see the big picture of cancer in the Virgin Islands, and we can then go forward and set up a comprehensive program. And then finally returning will be our popular panel, Real Talk, Real People, where survivors, care partners, we have a pharmacist, we have a gentleman who actually is a nail technician, but both his father and his son have had breast cancer, and we have ovarian cancer survivor and all, and they'll be just talking about their experiences. All that for $10, which gives you all that knowledge, all that laughter, in addition to lunch refreshments and opportunity to be with those who care about surviving breast cancer in the territory. Well, Saturday, November 14th, University of the Virgin Islands in the Great Hall on St. Croix from 9 to 2. Registration starts at 8 o'clock.
All right. Well, a couple of things. First of all, you talk about the cancer registry. And I just want to touch on that in terms of the people understanding the importance of this registry. You see, when you go to the doctor here and the doctor says, I think you may have cancer, so forth and so on, a lot of people, they get up and they run to the States. And what happens is that the folks in the States who have their cancer registry, as far as the national organizations are concerned, they record where the cancer is found. And in their eyes, the cancer is found where the first registry makes note of that cancer.
That's right.
So what's happening is that the Virgin Islands is not getting truly represented for the incidence of cancer that's occurring here in the Virgin Islands, which in turns impact our ability to get federal and other funds to the Virgin Islands. And so the cancer registry is something that we really have got to get going. Yes, if you go off island and be treated, that's fine. We're not saying don't go off island, but what we need is a process where the fact that our astute doctors found it here first, that goes on the record so that the Virgin Islands can get the appropriate funding levels to help in the fight against cancer and the prevention of cancer.
I couldn't have said it any better. Thank you for that, Doug, because this is really, really a super, super important initiative. YAG Foundation was invited to a initial meeting with some folks from the States and with Kathleen Arnold Lewis, and we got a broad overview of what it is that we're trying to accomplish and how it's working in other places and how important it will be in the Virgin Islands. The first bit of information or the data that they're collecting, the first analysis will not come out until 2018. The beginning of the collection of the data will be in January 2016. So we want people to speak up and make known what it is that they're going through. You know, that's a challenge that we have. People do not want to tell others that they have cancer. And that, first of all, just limits our overall knowledge of how we can help. But it also limits the support, the prayers, the consolation, the empathy that we can offer to those who are going through their cancer journey. So we want people to be very public about their cancer. There's no shame in it. it didn't. I always say my breast cancer came from a bad gene. I don't know, how that got in my body, but I know, I ate well, I exercised, I did everything that they told me to do. I was doing it all right, and then it happened, and it happened more than once. And so it's not that I wasn't taking care of myself. It's just something went wrong. So, I've been talking to that gene for 6 years now, trying to get it under control. I think we finally got there. But it really is important to talk about it, share ideas, and that's what the conference is about. And after you say what you're going to say, I want to tell you about what will happen on the Sunday of Breast Cancer Awareness Weekend, YAG Foundation.
Okay, well, I'm gonna try to be fast. Folks out there, when we have our shows, we record them and we put them on YouTube in the Douglas Canton channel, as well as when you go to Facebook, you'll usually see them there also as part of the updates that we provide. And I'm telling you this because not everybody is going to have the opportunity right now between 8 and 10. Some people are at their desk doing their work.
Yes.
And they've got to do what they've got to do. But tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. Between Facebook, if you're not on Facebook, YouTube is there. There's no special membership. Mm-hmm. Check it out because the information here is so important that the goal is to get it to spread long after this show is over. Mm-hmm. All right? And I want to give a quick big up to some of the people that have been helping with this project that you're working on, Diane. And first of all, I want to say a big up and thanks to St. Croix Foundation for their role in assisting you with going forward with this project. Okay? Now, there are a lot of folks involved. You mentioned the Pink House, Villa Mill Point, Carambola Resort, Cottage by the Sea, Hotel on the Key, D Resort, Arawak Bay, the Inn at Salt River, Pelican Cove Resort, Franklin's on the waterfront, Tamarind Reef Spa, Nail Time Sunny Isle, Deep End Restaurant, Shoreline Restaurant at Trinidad Bay, Blue Water Terrace, Polly's on the Pier. Gotta catch my breath. But it was worth the run. I wanted all of those people. And also you added Tan Tours.
Yes,
all right, you see those Jeeps going down. And they got a special pink Jeep. What the occasion?
Wave has a pink Jeep.
All
and
right.
He's going to take 4 of the participants on a tour of St. Croix.
All right, but rolling right along, we also got Budget Mini Mart, 2 headquarters, Frederickstead Maggie Snack Shop, ICBCVI, and all of that stands for Abel's Woman's Business Center, Cheeseburgers in Paradise, Blue Water Terrace Restaurant, Salute Bistro, One Stop Shoe Drop, Perfection Inc., Add a Touch Boutique, Family Outlet, catered by also Miss Tony D. Browns. So now, folks, if you didn't hear me call your name, it means that you need to jump on the bandwagon and get your organization on the list of people who are showing some love to breast cancer survivors here in the Virgin Islands through this special project that we're doing. All right?
Absolutely.
And Kiki and the Fire Dancers.
Kiki and the Fire Dancers? All right. We don't want them to light us up. Okay. All right. Good.
Boy.
But one more thing. Can't forget our gas station.
Yes.
Oh, my gosh.
One Love.
Yes.
Queen Bee. Scion Farm Gas Station. Quick Service. And Kareem Service Station. Hey, thank you for filling up the gas tanks with the Valent Pinks so that they can drive and chauffeur those folks around and make sure that our breast cancer survivors, our queens, are showing the maximum love, which there's never enough to give. We just got to keep pouring it out and make some more when we run out. All right, it's all yours.
Well, I'm so glad that you named all those people, because YAG Foundation also found a lot of community support for our conference, and Virgin Islands Oncology and Hematology with Dr. Errol Habdi very generously is helping to bring Kim Coles here.
Fantastic.
The Virgin Islands Casino Control Commission, Ann Golden, thank you, Ann, for our support. Virgin Islands Council of the Arts, a National Endowment for the Arts, thank you. Vika Board and Betty Mahoney. The Buccaneer Hotel, thank you, Elizabeth Armstrong and Vicky Lott. The Pink Spot, thank you, Emily, and her husband. And so many others that are taking ads in our program booklet and just really supporting us in every way they can, because the support goes to pay for mammograms. That's why we're raising money, so we could provide mammograms for people, men and women, who are underserved, medically underserved on St. Croix. And so, a mammogram at the hospital, I believe, costs like $350-something. So when we talk about raising funds, we talk about it in terms of mammograms. How many mammograms can we supply can we give with this amount of money? Well, we got $300 now. We can help one more person get a mammogram. And Doug, a couple of weeks ago, we understand that a man was diagnosed with breast cancer through a mammogram that he took at the imaging suite at the hospital. And so I think it's very important to understand that in 2015, they say about 232,000 cases of breast cancer will be discovered, and about 10% of those women will die, and men will die.
Well, I'm going to tell you, we man here in the Virginia, sometimes we could be well hardened when it comes to healthcare issues. Somehow or the other, we think we invincible. We going to work hard, support our family, and just carry on. Hey, nothing going to stop me. I going to just be like this forever. And it ain't so.
It ain't so, and I'm glad you mentioned it ain't so, because we are hooking up with the Honorable Senator Samuel Sanes for a prostate cancer walk and breast cancer walk on Sunday, November the 15th. Prostate cancer is a issue that's very close to the heart of Senator Sanes, and he asked to link up with us so that we could bring further recognition to the challenges that men are finding with dealing with their prostate cancer, which is also not a death sentence if we recognize it early, especially get that testing. I know that's one of the things that men want to back off from because it's a little uncomfortable. And it's not as uncomfortable as having prostate cancer. So Kim Coles, Senator Sanes will be with YAG coming down the road from the Albert Edwards Fish Market in Frederickstead down to the Eliza McBean Clock Tower, and that is 4 o'clock on the Sunday. And YAG will be out at the shopping centers these coming weekends to register people for the walk, sell out T-shirts, and really encourage participation. It's a short walk, maybe 5 blocks, but it will bring greater recognition to the issues that we're trying to address in the Virgin Islands. So we got a big weekend.
Yep.
We got a big weekend.
Lots of good things for the community, love for the community. And I'm going to touch on this thing with the men again. It's not about uncomfortable. It's a psychological thing. Mm-hmm. It's a psychological thing where they think that somehow or the other their manhood is compromised because a doctor does with them in a way what they send their wife and girlfriend to do all the time. Okay? Which is to make sure they stay healthy and live longer and be able to be a part of your life. That's all we're trying to do, to make sure that our men and women, as much as possible, they stay healthy, we keep them healthy, and when they're not, that we get them on the track toward being healthy. That's all it's about. Mm-hmm. So women, don't give up on your men when it comes to going and getting that health check. You do whatever you have to do, including tell them, no, not until. Okay.
Whatever you have to do.
Whatever you have to do. All right? Make them go and get that prostate checkup. All right? But it's all good. It's about love for one another, one for community, and we have to realize that we're all in this together. This is not something that touches the family next door or down the street or across the waters. This is right here in our Virgin Islands. And we've got to understand that there's so many different things that we're just beginning to appreciate. Our environment has an impact.
That's right.
On the incidence of cancer. Mm-hmm. You can't be taking and throwing diesel and a tantan, saying you're killing the tantan, you're poisoning the ground, which going into the food and going through the water down into the sea and the fish, that you love your fish so much and you're going down there to eat, but you're doing things to pollute. You got to start thinking in terms of our environment. We got to do things to our environment to make sure that we stay healthy in that regards. And then how we eat, we got to watch our diet. Now, some folks say, hey, you got to diet by something. Something got to take you. I understand you're going to indulge every now and then, but it does not hurt to be conscious and to make decisions and to do things in moderation. It's all for not just us here, like we're on a health beat or something. That's not what it is. Think about your significant other. Think about your child. Think about your mother, your family. That's who you're really doing it for.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Even though you're doing it for you, you're doing it for all of them. All right? Let's have the real fun family reunion, not the family celebration, the family reunion. Mm-hmm. Okay, as much as possible. Okay.
Absolutely. Those are words well spoken, Doug. And I want to just remind everyone that, we have doctors in the Virgin Islands that really care, that are very knowledgeable. And yes, there will be those who make their selection to go off island, maybe the facility that they go to, they may have more advanced facilities. But, check out our physicians, check out our healthcare institutions, and be able and try to find out as much as you can, and get as much treatment perhaps as you can before you try that off-island facility. And the reason I say that is because your family can't always go with you off-island.
That's right.
And being with a family member who can be your caregiver, your care partner, is ever so important when you're going through cancer. So I hope people will take that to heart as well.
Family and community support definitely are there, because when you hear cancer, there's certain things we have to be ready to fight. Some folks, it's a matter of depression, and we got to make sure that you understand, hey, you didn't hear a death sentence, you heard a challenge.
Right.
Let's rise to the challenge. Right. That's what it's all about. Okay?
That's exactly right.
Yeah. So, I'm really happy that you both could be here and share this time with me. And I'm looking forward to it being on YouTube so that we can share it with many others. I'm looking forward to the success. I've never been to the Pink Spot, but you got me going.
Come on
go
down.
And check out the Miss Kim Cole.
Yes.
And hobnob with the star. Who knows? She might recognize my talent.
Absolutely. Well, I just want to add quickly, the tickets for the comedy shows are online, eventbrite.com. Laughter in Paradise with Kim Coles is what you look for. The link is on our Facebook page. You can buy your tickets there. And we'll also have them at an outlet. We haven't confirmed the outlet yet. It will be somewhere at Sunny Isle so that people will have easy access. Your $30 will not only buy you a night of laughter, it will also get you a free pink drink and some appetizers.
So that is on what date now?
That is Friday, November the 13th.
And there are two
right,
shows.
Two shows, one at 6 and one at 9:30.
So I'll tell you what, I want you to come up with a question, a not too hard question for my show for next Thursday, and I'm going to sponsor a ticket to someone who can figure out the answer to that question.
Thank you,
so
Doug.
That way
that's so
someone
generous.
can get to go and see Kim Cole by thinking about breast cancer and love for the breast cancer survivors in our community, and maybe YAG or whatever the question will be about. But the bottom line is, folks, next Thursday we're going to have a ticket giveaway to go and see Miss Kim Cole. So check out Reflections. You might see a ticket in that mirror.
All right. I love it. I love it.
So
Thank you,
we're going to take a pause for the cause, and then we'll be back in a few minutes here. This is Doug Canton inviting you to join the conversation on Reflections every Thursday from 8 to 10 a.m. On Reflections, we discuss the positive developments in our community as well as focus on the positive that you and I can make happen. After the show, the conversation is also available on YouTube and Facebook. So tune in to Reflections on WSTX AM 970, your community-minded station.
News Talk for the Virgin Islands, AM 970 WSTX.
Contagious. All right. We're back here on Reflections with the music moving. It's contagious. All right. Hey, when I don't get that music in the morning, it's just not the same. You know, we were down in Frederickstead the other day. We conducted the show from Frederickstead.
Nice.
And it was so strange because, yes, I knew I was on the air, but I didn't hear my music. To do the intro, I didn't get to hear it. And it was just like, something is missing here. So I went on my computer and I turned on the music and I listened to it for a little bit. And it made all the difference in the world in terms of getting perked up. All right. But we have so much to be thankful for. So much to be thankful for. And our problem sometimes as human beings is we tend to get caught up in the things of the moment that are adverse to us. So I want to share this little bit of wisdomic thinking. Come up with a new word here.
Okay.
You know, if you're facing adversity, ask yourself something not going right, you're worrying, so forth. What problem you had in your life that didn't work out? I hear silence. Because they can't come up with it will work out. You pray about it, meditate, whatever you do as that way of calming yourself and then placing it, whether it be at the foot of the cross or at the foot of wherever you find your creator presence. You just have to know that it's going to work out. Worrying doesn't solve anything. Stress leads to things like cancer.
That's right.
Stress leads to things like stroke.
That's right.
Okay, so please, okay, so much going on. What do you do? You just take a deep breath, soak it all up, let it out, and face the challenges of life. Okay?
And be happy.
And be happy.
Yeah.
That's right. Don't leave this world with a frown on your face, please. Don't do that to yourself. Oh yes. So, well, another challenge that we've been talking about here today, cancer, the cancer struggle, the cancer survivors, the prevention of cancer, because ultimately what we'd like to do is just kick cancer out of town. Don't even have to see face no way. All right? That's what we'd like to do. But the reality is we're working toward getting there through research, American Cancer Society and other agencies that are working in that direction, the private sector that's working in that direction, and we the people working to support those efforts too. All right. Now, we have talked about the sponsors for this project of love for our breast cancer survivors. And you had some more information with regards to people that are involved and things that they're doing. And I really want you to get that out there because I am so happy whenever people can point to the businesses and individuals who have stepped up, hopefully as an inspiration to others to step up also.
Well, I wanted to add that we have 3 locations on the island that are available. These are businesses that have opened their doors so that you can go in and pick up information about breast cancer and also about all of the upcoming activities, as well as register if you're interested in participating in the breast cancer retreat. The first, we're calling it our headquarters for breast cancer information, and that is at Maggie's Snack Shop. She has so graciously given us an opportunity to use part of her a room next to the snack shop that we're decorating with pink, and so you can walk in if you live down near in Frederickstead. Walk in and pick up information and register for the breast cancer retreat.
Go Maggie's.
Yeah, Maggie. Yes.
All right.
And then we have the one-stop shoe drop and that is Marcia Cole's business right there in Mid-Island, next to Closet to Closet. We call it the Closet to Closet, but right in that complex, you can drop in and pick up information. And Marcia is offering a 10% off on all the breast cancer survivors who come in for the month of October. And I know that she's extending that up until the 15th of November. So 10% off if you have any shoes that you have to get fixed, and you can still pick up information. And then we have a Bell's Place. That is, I call it a Bell's Place. That's an Integrity Business Center VI and Company, and they are located right over top the laundromat across the street from the Corrugated Ballpark. And you know, Belle is such a community person and a businesswoman, a financial analyst, I call her. She always has the heartbeat of the community, and she has some big upcoming events going on that same weekend. And sometimes we have so many things going on in St. Croix, but please feel free to go to her business office. There's a lot of material that we have, as well as the opportunity to sign up if you live on that side of the island, to sign up to participate in the weekend or the two-night retreat that we're offering.
Fantastic.
So I just wanted to share that.
All right. Well, earlier I had mentioned some statistics that I was on the American Cancer Society site looking at, okay? Mm-hmm. And, you know, I just want to touch on a couple of them, because we looked at a lot of different things, and I want to turn the computer so everybody can see where we are. But definitely, when you look at these statistics, we've come a long ways from, let's say, a 33% incidence down to a 22% incidence in terms of reducing the occurrence of cancer in our community nationally. That's something that we need our cancer registry, so we can measure those type of statistics here for us in particular, where we fit in the picture.
Correct.
Okay? Because whether it's good or bad, we need to know so we can work in a good direction. So we got to work on that. But there's some very interesting statistics. You know, we talk about folks having money to go to the doctor and so forth and so on, or having insurance to go to the doctor. Well, I'm going to share with our audience here today some interesting statistics, because you have women that are insured, and still out of that group that's insured, up to 30% of them are not going and getting a mammogram. All right? So we've got some work to do, because it's not just about having the insurance. You got to use it. Preemption is the key. The earlier we find out there's a problem, the more likelihood the success is to conquer that problem.
Right? That just goes to show you the fear factor.
Fear factor also.
Yes. We have been contributing to that.
Yes. And then you have to look at the flip side. And I'm saying women, I'm not being stereotypical. I'm not saying that men don't have to be concerned. It just so happens that these are the statistics that we have. All right? And when you look on the flip side of that, for women that don't have insurance, all right, we're at about a 38% rate of them finding a way to get a mammogram. And that finding a way might be by their own means necessarily, or by the work of an organization like YAG or American Cancer Society making strides to raise funds and contribute toward donating a mammogram to that person who otherwise can't afford it. Mm-hmm. But, so we're saying that still we're falling short 62%. We've got work to do. Education, fundraising, bringing the cost down, however we got to do it. Those are our women and men. Mm-hmm. Our women and men.
That's right.
I want to stress that, men. You don't get away just because it's a war before men. Okay? Mm-hmm. Cancer does not discriminate. Breast cancer does not discriminate. And it's better to know than to be caught off guard. All right? Now, let's look at education. You see here from our statistics that we have folks that take the time out, struggle, sacrifice or burden mommy and daddy's pocketbook. However they do it, they go to school and they get this degree. And out of that group, 25% are not getting mammograms. That's totally unacceptable.
Not smart, right?
And it's not smart. And then saying we've got work to do. So if you're walking around taking for granted somehow, we talking about them, that people over there, that ain't coming my way, not me, not my mommy, not my daughter, not my niece. Not to mention it could be daddy, brother, nephew too. All right? That's not how it works. Cancer does not discriminate. So you got a degree and you got the big job. Well, we want you to stay in that big job and do great things, because cancer can take you out if you don't have the knowledge.
Exactly.
You took the time to go to college and get all that knowledge, and then 25% of you saying, hey, again, it might be the fear factor also.
Right.
Yes, fear is everywhere.
It's everywhere, and people do believe the less I know, the better it is. And so, but that doesn't work well.
It don't work well at all.
In this situation.
It don't work well at all.
So
okay.
we want those who think that way to reconsider.
All right. Well, those are just a couple of things that I wanted to point out, that, folks, we're all in this together. You can't be in the boat and on the other end of the boat you see water coming in, and because it's coming in on that end, you are okay. If the boat go down, we all going down. And cancer is just one of those things. We got to plug that leak and figure out how to build a better boat for the future so cancer can't get in at all. So in the meantime, we've got work to do.
Exactly. I wanted to say something about mammograms because, of course, that's, again, what YAG Foundation, one of our primary purposes. And over the, you show some statistics, too, on your screen, that the instances of people getting mammograms had gone down over the last few years. And I believe that's attributed to revised guidelines put out by various health organizations that had women questioning whether 40 was the correct age or 50 now in some more recent announcements. However, YAG Foundation is still going to support 40, as does the American Cancer Foundation Society, that you should start at 40. It can't hurt, especially if there's a history in your family, or if you do your breast self-examination, which is very important on a monthly basis, and you find something that feels irregular. If you're not sure how to do breast self-examination, you can go online. You could even go to YAG's Facebook page. We have a flyer there that demonstrates exactly how to place your hands, how to make the circular motions, and what to feel for. It's very important that you kind of determine what it is that you have to do for your own body. So if you have a history of breast cancer, because, more and more there are women under 40. Over the last couple of weeks, I've met 3 women under 40 that have breast cancer. And so we have to be very vigilant about our own health care. We are the head of our health care team. And we must chair that team correctly.
Between our environment and the things that they're putting in our food these days, that sometimes you think you're safe and you don't realize till the report comes out that this is in the food. There's so much that's going on that to say 40, we want to stress that if you're 35 or 32 and you feel something don't feel right, don't say, well, okay, I'll check it out when I'm 40. Right. You check it out right away.
That's right.
Jill Biden 20 years ago created an initiative where a program where she actually went into the high schools to educate high school students about breast cancer. So there are women, young girls, who have been diagnosed and treated with breast cancer. who are in a high school age. So, and then they're, teenagers and in their 20s. So there's always that, that small percentage, but it exists. So it's important to be knowledgeable.
It absolutely is. I remember when I was first diagnosed, and my husband and I had to tell our daughters. They were away at college, and after I told them that I had breast cancer, their father gave them a little sermon about breast self-examination. So you can imagine that if Daddy said to do this, then, you really should go ahead and be serious about it. And, of course, they do it, and they do it regularly. And so it shouldn't just be women telling women or women telling men. Men can make sure that, the women that they love, their mothers, their sisters, their, cousins, their daughters, just remind them that breast health is an important part of maintaining their overall health and wellness for the future.
Well, as a parent, it's a challenge anyhow. And it's so funny because in growing up, there's so much that I learned about that my parents should have been teaching me, but I didn't learn anything about. And then to come full circle and then be the parent, and it's like, okay, so how do I talk about this and how do I talk about that? Well, all I would tell you, Daddy, is if you love your daughter, if you love your wife, if you love your girlfriend, just know that is greater than any uncomfort you may feel to have the conversation. Okay? Love is more important than that discomfort.
That's right.
So overcome that discomfort and do what you gotta do. Communicate.
Exactly. They call the cancer the big C, but the big C for me is communicate. And I've made up this little thing that I say to people about communication. It's one of the best tools for recovery. You need to communicate with your healthcare team. You are the chairperson of that team. You need to communicate with candor and with humor. Speak to family, friends, strangers. How do I feel? How do you feel? And get that conversation going. Communicate instructively. How to treat me, how to help me. Some people are not comfortable how to talk to people that have breast cancer or any kind of cancer. Sometimes you have to tell people what to say to you to make both of you comfortable. And finally, communicate with grace. Don't blame anyone for your situation. The why me thing is very played out. It happened to you. Let's go ahead and deal with it and be gracious in all things that you say and do.
All right. Now you see why I call you the songbird of the airwaves? She's got everybody relaxed and listening and getting ready to go out and do the right thing, okay? All right, fantastic. So when I tell you you're missed on the airwaves, very sincere in that. And I'm so happy to have you here today. It's been a wonderful, wonderful morning. Oh my goodness. Wonderful.
Absolutely.
Very informative.
All right. Informative. A
lot of information.
And the love for our breast cancer survivors. So let's recap on this project. We've got a project going on here for our breast cancer survivors, and we're going to pamper them.
Yes.
What are we going to pamper them with?
First with love.
All right.
And they will be chauffeured, picked up at their door by a volunteer. And the volunteer will place a crown on their head just to remind them, we already know you are special and you are a queen. But you're going to just have that crown to wear as you were chauffeured off to the villa or to the hotel resort for 2 nights. And you will also be chauffeured to a restaurant in that area of the hotel or villa. And at the villas, we have volunteer chefs coming in to prepare wonderful, wonderful, nutritious meals for our for breast cancer survivors.
All right. So our private sector has stepped up to the
yes,
plate,
they have.
and this is going great. And all of that is leading up to some laughter. So
That's right.
let's close out on the laughter. What's happening to make us laugh?
The Yvonne Ashley Galiber Foundation Incorporated presents the Healing Power of Laughter. A whole weekend of events. It starts on November 13th with the Laughter in Paradise comedy shows with Kim Coles, comedian, actress, motivational speaker, best-selling author. 2 shows at the Pink Spot, 6 p.m. and 9:30 p.m. Tickets are on sale online at eventbrite.com/Laughter in Paradise with Kim Coles. And listen for commercials on this station that will let you know where you can buy them locally if you don't have online access. We go to the big conference on Saturday, November the 14th. Registration begins at 8 a.m. and the conference begins at 9. Kim Coles will be our main speaker, and for $10, not only do you get a whole day of great information from all of our presenters, we end it with refreshments, and we also have a little vendors market there at the University of the Virgin Islands, Albert Sheen campus in the Great Hall. And then we culminate with the Honorable Samuel Sanders on Sunday at 4 p.m. in Frederiksted. We meet at the Fish Market, and we'll walk down to the clock tower. And this is all to have everyone understand that breast and prostate cancer is an important area that we're dealing with in our community, and we have to give it as much attention as possible. If you need more information about all our events, you can call YAG Foundation at 332-9115, area code 340-332-9115. And don't forget, this Friday at Pink Spot, we're having the auditions, 5:30 for a comedian that will open for Kim Coles. And also don't forget our photo treasure hunt contest that we're extending until November 7th or November 6th. On Friday, not only will you get, or at the Kim Coles show, not only will you get Kim Coles, the comedy show, but you will get the dynamic cast of Dreamgirls from the Caribbean Community Theater group. I'm sorry. So,
all right, folks.
We're excited.
You heard it here on WSTX, the community-minded station. But you left out something important, which is next Thursday.
Right.
You can win a ticket to see Kim Cole. All right.
Okay,
That's
and
great.
auspices of Douglas Canton, and we thank you, from the
Doug.
bottom of our heart.
All right. So we're going to take care of the particulars to make that happen before you leave here. And just know that there'll be some question being asked, maybe about the YAG Foundation, or maybe about what a Pink is or something. So go on Facebook and the internet and learn about this special project.
Exactly.
On Facebook, you can go and look for this young lady, Diane Janet Hampton. For more information, you can go to the YAG Foundation site and Facebook presence to find out more. But the bottom line is, educate yourself, empower yourself. That's how we as a community grow and win against the devil in his representation as cancer.
Absolutely.
All right?
Thank you
Fantastic.
so much,
It's
Doug.
been
Thank
wonderful.
you so much.
It's been wonderful. So I'm looking forward to it. And we're getting ready to bring some other guests in here in the process, and I'm so glad that you laid the foundation. I said, this is Reflections Thursday. It's great, fantastic, outstanding, just plain excellent, and it's got to be, because it lays the foundation for Friday. So we start thanking God from today.
All right.
All right. Good.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. All right, folks.